So you plan to finish the internet and you wonder, what else could I watch? Hello my friends, I'm Stefan Bollinger. I hope you're doing well. Now it doesn't matter if you're in lockdown right now or if you just have a lot of time on your hands or you wonder what else could I watch. I thought today I'll share with you some of my favorite YouTube channels and explain to you why I watch them and why I love them. Now, before we go there, I quickly have to explain two terms that I use. One is called B-roll and the other one is color grading. Now, if these are terms that you understand, you know what they mean, well, skip forward a little bit. But if they mean nothing to you, let me explain. Let's say I talk about New York, like I did in my video last week. If you haven't seen it, as always, link is in the description below. So let's say I talk about New York and walking down the streets and this and that and the other. So about 10-15 seconds into my speech, you get bored and it's, all you have to see is this face. So instead, I use B-roll on top of my voice so that, you get an impression of what I'm actually talking about. Now, some of the channels that I'll show you use B-roll extensively, and of course, it's very time consuming to produce this, but it really lifts the production value of a video. Now, the other thing is color grading. Let's go back to that clip from New York. When you just look at it as it was filmed, well, it's okay. But as soon as you color grade it, ooh, it's like magic. Doesn't that look so much nicer? Early morning, the sun is coming in. Well, again, that's production value, and this is something that, you pick up. Maybe if you don't edit video yourself, you don't realize how much time and effort goes into each episode that some of these people produce, but, it is a big difference. So, without further ado, here are some of my favorites. So let's jump onto the computer and have a look. So where to start? Well, I could go in any order, but what about we start with that guy?
What's up everybody? Peter McKinnon here, welcome back to another video. Today is a special video. Today is a video I've been waiting to make for quite some time.
Isn't the intro itself already awesome? What's up? I can't do this. This is for young people. But so much power, so much energy. But let's have a look at another clip quickly.
This is getting long. This is getting long.
And stop it right there. I'm sorry, Peter, but just stick with this frame for a second. So have a look. The light in his face, perfect. Then we have some nice depth of field. It's not too creamy, not too blurry in the background, but just the right amount. And then we have the blue light behind him, which is perfect with the skin tones, talking about opposite colors. This is a well-crafted shot. So it's not just putting a webcam in front of you and pushing record and nowadays, go a little bit further, and he does this so well. And the same applies to B-roll. He spends so much time creating those extra clips, those in-between cuts to keep it interesting. If I would have to pick one of my favorite episodes, it's called, I believe, The Gift of Photography. Go and check him out. You'll spend hours and hours and hours on really, really good content. So, next one. Good friend of mine, I have to mention him. He's one of the top instructors when it comes to Lightroom, Photoshop, and photography itself, Scott Kelby.
So I remember that literally, I'm not making this up, 25 years ago, I went to a place and it's called something.
Aside from the fact that Scott is a really nice guy, he really knows how to teach.
But if you want to get good on something, what you got to do? You got to study, you got to practice. That's what I'm doing, and I'm sharing what I've learned with you.
So go and check him out. He produces videos for free, as well as, of course, for his company, Kelby One, which is special for me because last time I was in the US, I was invited by Scott to fly down to Tampa and be part of one of their episodes of The Grid. So if you go and look for it, yes, somewhere you will find yours truly.
Hey everybody, welcome to another live episode of The Grid. My name's Scott Kelby. We have a very special guest with us today, all the way from down under, from Australia, Stefan Bollinger.
Well then, let's move to England, to our friend Glenn Dewis.
All right, so here we are. Hopefully you can see me, hopefully you can hear me. If not, I'm talking to myself.
He is an expert when it comes to Photoshop and retouching. Well, besides the fact that he's also a pretty amazing photographer, he has this style, these colors that he uses in his own photos. It looks amazing. He also creates this series of taking photos of World War II veterans, and he shares so many intricate tips. So go and have a look at the incredible amount of awesome tutorials that Glenn shares. Another human I look up to is Chase Jarvis. He himself is an incredible lifestyle photographer, but his dream is about a lot more.
I sit down with awesome people and I do everything I can to unpack their brains with the goal of helping you live your dreams in career, in hobby, and in life.
And his talks are deep and meaningful and positive and absolutely worth having a look. And his company, of course, Creative Life, is the other thing to look at. But go and check out Chase Jarvis, and mainly what I think his talks, which are so deep and very motivating and inspiring. Well, this is a clip from my next one on the list, which is my friend Trey Ratcliffe. Trey is known for his HDR photography, but of course there's a lot more to this interesting character. He travels the world being a travel photographer and shares his experiences. He shows you where he was, and it's just, a great way to escape sometimes. And right now we're all stuck at home anyway, so go and check out Trey's channel and follow him around the globe and see all those beautiful places that he visits. And then we come to Mr. 10 million followers on YouTube.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm KidBHD here and welcome back to Quarantine Content, just a little entertainment for you while we're all staying inside. I'm your host, Marquez Brownlee, and this is a new product.
I have to admit, I'm a big geek when it comes to technology. I love it. So this man, he shares all the ins and outs of new tech, new gear, and also has some interesting interviews with luminaries out there. So if you love tech, if you love, geeking out, this is your man.
So thank you. Just wanted to say thanks.
And then we come to the art of photography.
That brutal truth is that nobody is interested in seeing your photographs. Nobody cares about the work that you're doing as a photographer. This is what I heard from a friend of mine.
I find it interesting to hear what other people think, how other people approach photography or videography. And I think it's quite helpful to not just stick to what you do, but be open-minded and have a look and listen to how other people see it. So the art of photography, another stream absolutely worth watching.
I feel really stuck as a photographer, like I don't feel like I'm going anywhere. Oh, you're not alone. I've tried Instagram, even went back to Flickr, and I just can't seem to gain any ground. Yeah, there's a lot of people who wanted the same thing.
Then, completely different story. As you might know, I love audio. I have been a musician. I still compose. I still produce music. And I follow...
What is happening, Boot Junkies? Mike Dog Audio here, back with another video on home studio setup for voiceover. Got the cans on.
Which has a stream called The Booth Junkie. He's a voiceover artist, and because he's quite known by now, he is in the lucky position that people send him different microphones and he tests them 1 versus 1 against microphones that we already know. And very often, as it is the case with most gear, the most expensive is not always the best. So if that's something that interests you, go and find the Booth Chunky. As with all those links or all those channels that I mentioned, of course, I put the link in the description below so you don't have to go and search, but just click on it and enjoy. You will kill so much time. Now, there's two more. The second last is a good friend of mine, and I'm not talking about his YouTube channel, but his website. His name is Emil Bilinski. When I saw his photos for the first time, I thought, okay, I'll better throw my camera away and become a butcher or a baker or something. His stuff is so good. It's painfully good. So go and check out Emil. I met him. We both flew to New Zealand to talk at a big photo conference. And we spent a lot of time outside of the building, just chatting, and, changing ideas. And he has become a good friend of mine. So go and check his stuff out. It blows your mind. The last thing, of course, if you feel like it, go and have a look at my photography. Do me a big favor, though. Go and check out my stuff first and then look at Emil's, because otherwise I lose big time and that would be painful. Anyway, so that's my little list for things to watch. If you dive in, you will kill so much time and hopefully really enjoy it and learn a bunch as well. Well, that's it for me for this week. Next week, I will dive in onto, how do I phrase this? A very technical topic in photography, something that is fascinating, but I'm not entirely sure if it's true. I'm talking about lens compression. So we will dive into it, have a good look at it, how it works, why it works, if it actually works, and what's going on. Well, that's it for this week. Stay safe, stay home, be healthy, look after yourself. Oh, and one more thing. As always, don't forget to subscribe, click the little bell icon if you like it. Why don't you leave a lovely comment below if you then feel like it? All right, stay safe. See you next week.